to be here. It's gonna be fun. Uh, I'm excited to have a good time. And we've had a great conversation already about old school video games and just like some of our history. So it's kind of one of those things where like I'm hype about it. Like, let's go, man. Yeah, man, you're an awesome guy. Like, and I was, when you first came to our team and we started talking, I was like, this guy's genuine. Like, he's a good guy. I was like, you just have like that air about you that you're someone you can just kind of like be down to earth with and talk to. And I was like, and you were really hungry to learn just anything and everything. And I was just like, I was like, people like this, my favorite type of people. So we just instantly had like a chemistry. Yeah, yucks. Dude, I appreciate that. Some very very kind words. Um, I appreciate you holding me in high esteem because sometimes I'm like, man, I didn't get enough done today. I was like, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? You've ran laps around people. It's just about a process. I mean, the speed, like, I mean, we talked about this. This is not going to be a grocery teaching class, but it's one of those things where like it's just a process. There's a speed that comes with every process. You just have to nail the processes down, and the speed comes after. It's the basics, and you get those lined up, and you do them every day, and you do them very well, and then you just go. And that's like with anything, though. Yeah, just chat it, and then because you have Dragonborn as the title, you can change your title in your channel dashboard or your dashboard, creator dashboard. Yeah. No. Let me make sure I'm hosting you too. It's not anymore. It's not anymore. It was. This is a very good test for tomorrow. Dude, I love your layout. This is way better than. Hey. Dude, you made this in like 10 seconds. This is better than anything I would have ever made. Mhm. The cool thing is, like, the stream is always. So that's so good.
Guide for Mike,
You got
home,
me. You got me so hyped
home
already.
window,
That
re-
is
recently used,
awesome.
launch,
So
Sea of
keep looking
Thieves,
at. I look like I'm
included
looking to
with Game
God, but
Pass,
really, so for my
installing,
setup.
76.0% complete,
So
press the menu button for more
here, hold
options,
on, hold on.
button, 1 of
So
6.
I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring this over. So for me, can you hear me? Okay. So for my setup, I have. Thanks. I have my TV up here. I have my game monitor here, and I have my side chat bar here. And so I'm constantly like, I was like looking up to look at the stream just to see what it looks like. And I'm like, Kelby, just like move your screen over. You can literally just bring it down. And all I had to do was bring it down. And I was like, not doing it. Yeah, I'm just staring to the heavens. That's so funny. so like facing down. Yeah. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? It makes it look like you're. I don't know. I get what you're saying. Like I absolutely get it. No. Hmm. Yeah. It hasn't. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I mean, I'll be fair. Even I have done that too. Like I've had my camera be like over here, like so you can see like my PC, like like just trying to like figure out different things, and none of them ever work. Like what I have right now, where it's like just kind of in front of me, facing me. Like I feel like this is fine. Like it's not gonna be any better than this. I'm not good enough to look at for someone to want 15 different types of angles. It's like you're here for the gameplay. We're gonna make me as small as possible and just oh, you know. Shoot. Yeah, I like that. That's some philosophical shit right there. Like I like it. You're like I'm getting in the brains of my viewers. Yeah. So it says I feel like volume is just a little low. I've got my volume all the way up too, and sometimes I can't hear Presto Ernest talking, but see you moving your mouth. Haha. Looks great otherwise.
I've been muted that whole time. I've been muted that whole time. Streamer fail. Streamer fail. Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to Presto Ernest. We just had a learning moment. Thanks for the heads up, Vanessa. Been I'm I mean so like they heard your side of everything, but not me.
I just looked like I'm watching a tube chat. It probably looked like you were
so
talking to people or something.
thanks for the heads up, Vanessa. Okay, guys, you have to take the whole stream and fill in the blanks for my conversation. Dub it over.
Someone dub it over. Man,
That's
you live
fantastic.
and you learn. You live
Yeah.
and you learn.
See, we're glad we didn't do that tomorrow. Like, this
That's
is a
so
good test
funny.
stream. This is a great
Trust
test
me,
stream.
my chat would have been lighting us up, telling us that he's like, I can't hear him. I actually have I have a mod. His name's Mars, and he's on point. Like he's an on point mod.
That's awesome.
He's in high school, so they're doing school from home.
Oh wow, good for
So
him.
he just plays video games all day.
All
That's all he
school,
does.
all school should be at home from now on.
Yeah.
Like
So,
that's my perspective of that.
but he's like the only. No, I agree. I agree. Trust me. I wish that we had the option when we were in school.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
But he's the best mod ever. I mean, that dude is on it. He'll be like, hey, your sound needs to come up a little. He's like, music's a little low, game's a little blurry. Like he's on it.
That's so cool. That's what. Does he like tell it through chat or does he like message
No.
you directly?
So we do a thing kind of like what I did to you, where it's all through Discord.
Okay.
Everything that we message each other is either through a text or on Discord. That way,
That's
it doesn't
really cool.
interrupt your stream. And I'm not saying you are, Vanessa. I appreciate you. Everyone does it different. Some people like their mods to be on chat saying things. Some people don't. I tell Mars, it's like I want the stream to just be about the stream. If there's anything behind the scenes, just tell me.
Good call. Good call.
And in that way, it's just something perfect. Like
Yeah.
for me, I just feel like it makes the stream professional to where like
Totally agree.
you don't see, like how you have like the curtain and you can't see the things
Yep.
falling behind. Like that's
Yep.
kind of it. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
things are bad, I'm just like, oh, here, I'll fix my volume right there. And
This is all we have right now. Like is chat. So I mean, that's a fantastic point, and
yeah,
I'll definitely see, guys. Kelbz has been my number one man to go to during this whole stream and streaming adventure of mine, and a lot of this, like 98% of this, is thanks to his insight and knowledge of the thing. So thank you so much for all that, dude.
dude,
Like,
it's one of those things where like I want to see you grow and be like, because you already have like you have
well,
the
thank you.
personality.
Well, thank
like
you.
it's one. Oh, thank you. It's just one of those things like you already have what it takes to be a good streamer. We just need to get the stream behind your talent,
I appreciate
like
that.
catch it up because your
Yeah.
talent's already here. The
Yeah.
stream just needs to get it up there. That's
I
it.
appreciate that. And we got to get it out to the
I
world
mean,
too.
And also like with Vanessa, like you have a great mod already,
Thank you.
and just happens to be your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's awesome. And she also does your art. She's super talented. Like
She's been. I'm very thankful for her. Thank you, Vanessa, for the backup. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not always the best at thanking her or being the best at supporting her, but I thank you. I really do, and I'm sorry for all those times. So it's on record. It's on record.
it's on stream. We got it on stream.
Yeah.
That's one of the. But like, I mean, with any relationship though, like a lot of things go unsaid. Like,
Yeah.
she knows you appreciate her. I'm sure she does.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't hurt to say it. We've said it on stream, and all you gotta do is clip this and just say it to her over and over and over and over.
Just have one of those push button boxes like streamers have. Like it's just like the cheers and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even when I don't show it, I'm very thankful. I'm a very emotional person, and I've learned a lot about myself over the past few months, and I've been organizing my thoughts and my feelings a lot on my phone. Like I have a whole note section of stuff like that. And one of the things that I came up with the other day is check your emotions. Like any emotion that you feel, does it have merit? So I'm very quick to anger, but here lately, I've been trying to filter myself through that, right? So I'm just being very open and honest here. The world can see it. When I feel a lot of emotion, right? Any kind of emotion, I have to sit back and say, does this make sense? Like, what am I doing that actually really makes sense? And a lot of the times, there's no need for it. You know, like a lot of the times, like when it comes to feeling and stuff like that, especially really really strong feelings, you can fall into a snowball effect. Look at the past, right? Where there were people who literally danced in the streets till they died.
Which is insane.
Historians and scientists don't even know why that happened, right? It was that snowball of emotion, right? That snowball that just collected, and that's part of the human race. The humanity is so complicated, and
we're built on emotions.
Exactly. And I'm a firm believer that, dude, we're getting into a strange part of the conversation.
That's okay. I kind of feel like this is gonna go like this the entire conversation. That's okay.
I'm
all for it.
We'll get back to stream talk in a second. After I state something, I believe that love is the basis of all emotion. And here's the reason why. When you fall in love, you don't know what it feels like. Like if you describe fear, right? You describe an intense emotion of fright, right? Of wanting to run away or attack or something like that. But or like if you describe happiness, you say cheerful, something like that. But when you say love, you say, what is love? What is it, right? It's the basis of all emotion, And I think that since we are humans, if we can understand love better, we could understand each other better.
That's deep.
Wrap it all
That's
together.
deep. I mean, well, if you think about it too, like think about love. Like you fear to lose things you love. Usually things that go against the things you love, you hate.
Wow.
Like I mean,
You
there's
cherish
like,
you cherish the love that you have.
and you're happy when you're in love.
Yeah.
Like there's like you said, there's so much, and it's a little bit of everything. Like there's no love without hate. There's no love without fear. There's no love without happiness. Like
Yep.
it's all of it.
Love is the basis of all emotion, man. And you just like pulled that together beautifully.
Thank you, thank you. I was here for you.
So back to stream conversations. I was saying like, so when I was looking up, okay, that's rewind even further. So school taught me the first thing to look at when you're filming is everything in screen, background, foreground, everything, right? And so most of my setup was fixing this background, and like I'd seen streamers who had like really cool double color like shots and stuff like that, and I was like, how could I do that? These lights right here, these Christmas lights, have been outside of my house hanging up since Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, and
But that's
so
awesome.
and so we started streaming, and I was like, I've got lights, you know. And if you look at my
You do?
early stream, right, there's barely anything back there, and so I was like, I gotta get that shit set up. So I don't know. There's a lot I can do to my background, but
There's so much and so little though. Like there's some people who don't even like let you see their background. They just have a green screen behind them. Actually,
yeah,
my little sister, she used to stream, and she actually had a chair piece that was just a round green circle that went around her top of her chair, and
yeah.
it blocked out everything. And you could set anything behind it you wanted to. Normally, she just blended her camera in with the game that she was playing.
I think that's a fantastic idea because like, what are you there for? You're there for the game and the person,
Yeah.
right? The only thing that I would do is have a shorter depth of field so that everything in the back is blurred. That's the only other thing I would change, but I can't do that with my setup right now.
You
And then
can.
like, I'm so jealous of your computer, bro. Like, that computer looks amazing in
It
the
is.
background. And that Iron Man poster is freaking amazing. So Iron Man for the longest was the love of my life. That's sick too. Is that 3D printed, the Kelbz sign?
Yes. So this, I don't like this part just because it looks like a five. I'm gonna have someone redo it for me, but yes, 3D
I
printed.
like it. That's so cool. Did you know someone who 3D printed it, or was it?
Actually, I got it through a Etsy shop.
Ooh,
To an
nice.
Etsy shop, and they did it. Then this is actually 3D printed. It's a ghost from Destiny.
Oh,
Someone
dude. When
3D
those
printed it.
first came out, they should have totally launched those with the game.
They
A
should have.
ghost.
I had a friend make this for me because I wanted one so bad.
Yep.
So what they did is they actually put like a little candle light in it,
Oh,
and
nice.
it died. So
Oh no.
um, this
You
is
put-
all to be fair. This is a little bit of everything I love right here. It's like I have my All Might pop figure from My Hero
Yeah,
Academia.
dude.
Got my
Nice.
Mega Man, and
It
he
looks so cool.
he lights up.
That's so cool.
Now with my lighting, it's rough, but
Yeah.
in better lighting, you would see he has like the blue in there and all that
Yeah,
good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You can see it. That's so cool.
It's my old school, and then Destiny, which it's funny. I've been playing Destiny for 8 years, and when you think about that, that's a little crazy.
Wow.
But I've been playing Bungie games. I've been playing Bungie games for 20 years, almost.
What was
Like,
your first
probably
one?
Halo 1.
Halo.
My parents went to, and I actually played the older ones right after, like later on, probably like when I was teens. I played Myth and Marathon and the games that came before Halo.
Yeah.
Pathways to Darkness, those kind of things, because they made RPGs before they made shooters.
Dude.
Yeah, and they made pretty good ones too. But so I had a group that my parents went to go to church with. Like they always had like the Bible studies. Like it'd be
Yep.
like Wednesday night, you'd go to a person's house and eat food, and they'd have a Bible study.
Yep.
Well, their son was a teenager at the time, and they were a wealthier family, so they had money. So he had an Xbox, and of course on that Xbox he had Halo,
Yep. Halo. That
and
game. That game
it's so good.
changed the world.
And I can remember, and it just as vividly as possible, there was this hallway that he was playing in because he had like this gaming slash computer room that he would play in,
Uh huh.
and he was playing multiplayer with his friends, and it was Hang 'em High. And Hang
Wow.
'em High is a Halo map. It was very basic. It was just like stone pillars, a lot of geometry, and he was just playing that. And I remember watching him, and I was like, I want to play this game so bad,
Yeah.
but he told me no.
What?
He told me no. He's like, you can't play my game.
What?
So there was a day that he was not there. Like he just happened to be not there that day when we went to the Bible study.
Yeah.
So I saw his console, and I was like, well, and I cut it on, and I played Halo.
And started a 20-year craze for the company.
And I played it, and I remember I didn't know what I was really getting into because I'd never played a game like that. So I was like
Yeah.
a shooter. Like I didn't play shooters. I was playing like third person action games like we just talked about, like Jack and Dexter. I was playing RPGs. It's funny, as a child I actually played a lot of Japanese role-playing games, and I didn't even realize it. Like I played Final Fantasy, I played Legend of Dragoon, I played Dark Cloud, I played all these like art JRPGs, and I'm like, I'm this little kid, and you would think it wouldn't be the game I would want to play, but it was. But no, I played it for like an hour or two, and he came home and screamed at me to get off of his Xbox.
Why though? Like why?
I don't know. I don't know why he was so upset with me over it, but he was, and it was just one of those things where, like I got the bug. I want to play it so bad.
I 100%. Hang on, we're having technical difficulties here.
Uh-oh.
100%. Halo was the reason. There it is. Halo was the reason why I wanted an Xbox. It started my lust for an Xbox.
I mean, for many people, like Halo was it. Halo built the Xbox. Without Halo, without Microsoft stealing Halo from Apple and hiring Bungie,
Yep.
and then buying them.
Yep. And here's the
if it
reason
wasn't
why.
for that- Go ahead.
For me, I'm sorry. Sorry. No, you continue.
No.
You continue, sir.
No. What I was gonna say was, if it wasn't for Microsoft just jumping in there and offering Bungie a stinking amount of money to get Halo on the Xbox,
Yep.
like we wouldn't have Xbox. It just
No.
it wouldn't be a thing. Halo made that brand.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, now look at it. Like, hey, we're back.
And we're back. Sorry about that.
And we're
Technical
back.
difficulties. But
I still like. Shout out to you two about this setup. I love it. It's awesome.
Thanks. I appreciate that. It was literally thrown together in 5 seconds. But
Go ahead.
but I was saying about Halo was that my friends would all go over to one of my other friends' houses, and they would have sleepovers and stuff like that. The coolest thing you can do in our time and age was go over to a friend's house and just hang out for a night, and they would play Halo. And like, I just remember sitting there and being so bad at it because I was the only one out of the bunch who didn't play it.
You're just probably getting stomped.
It was rough. I'd play one round and then be like, nope, I can't do it. And then I'd sit back and watch.
But that's how you learn, man. I mean, that's like,
But
you
now-
can't get good at something unless you try it.
But now we have whole platforms that are designed for watching video games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pro at it, man.
I mean, it's one of those things where
I'm a pro at
like
watching video games.
I'm a pro at watching video games. I may not be the best at playing them, but I'm definitely good at watching other people play them well.
Yeah, like so.
I will 100% professionally watch you play a game well.
So that's the thing. Like, I'd much prefer. I would much prefer to watch someone who's bad at a game than someone who's good at it.
Yeah, because being good at it's kind of boring.
Yeah, if you know that they're gonna get a win every single time, or if they're gonna get like the best score every single time, you know the outcome. For somebody who just like, there's this YouTuber that came across my feed the other day, right? And he has his girlfriend who's never played video games before play video games. So he like sits back and
Oh man,
helps her play. He doesn't even like. There's some of them where he doesn't say anything, and there's some of them where he just slightly guides through. Like one of them was um, Legend of Zelda, right? And I don't even know if I'd be able to find it. If you know who I'm talking about, please drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments or something like that. But he was talking about how video games have evolved to where they're focused mainly on people who've been playing video games their whole life. So in The Legend of Zelda, right?
That's so true, though. Like, you don't even think about it like that,
Woo,
but it's...
Thanks for the follow! Thank you, Haas. I don't have a banner on. I should probably throw one in. But he was talking about how video games are designed to build upon pre-built knowledge. So there's a point in, and I'm quoting this video off the top, like very closely. So I'm really sorry. I really want to give him props. So I need to put it on here when I find it. But he was talking about how there's a point in The Legend of Zelda when you get an axe and you chop down a tree to get across a gap, right? From a non-gamer's perspective who's never played a game, the game teaches you how to do so much stuff before you get there, like climbing and stuff like that. Her way of tackling the situation was to climb around it. From
That's
a
so
gamer
funny.
perspective, we're like, let's just chop down the tree and go across it.
But you don't think that way if you don't play games that way.
Exactly. And so, like we were talking, to tie it back in, we were talking about watching games and stuff like that. You can watch games and learn stuff from it, but that's a really cool shot, by the way. I like where you're sitting at it on the screen. That's like professional right there.
See, I'm gonna keep it there now that you said that, because I was like, this is a good shot. I'm good with this.
Here's a tip. Let me give you. Do it the other way. What if you were like sitting on the other side? So like you show more of your computer.
So let's see. Actually,
there you go, bro. Dude.
Perfect.
That is
Done.
that is priceless. Dude, you could throw that on YouTube right now and say anything and people would believe you. You could say the sky's actually black, which, fun fact.
You see, so I have a Stream Deck, like the
Look
you
at
know, you
that.
press the button, like,
Yeah.
and it has my logo on it.
That looks so good. That looks
Love
so
it.
good. Dude.
I'm not professional. I'm just telling you, I'm not. You may think I am, but I'm definitely not.
Fabio, the spice is on top of it. So, fun fact, blue is actually a relatively new color. If you look at previous societies, blue is never mentioned in them.
Really?
Yeah, fun fact. Actually,
They
the
missed
sky.
out. That's
Yeah,
why we're the best.
like the color blue is actually a sign of progressing in society. It's like a staple of you've reached this point in society.
Oh.
They would call the sky actually black, and this ties into your perception of color. So
That's so crazy.
so if you look at the color red, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at the color pink, we see those as two different colors. But there's no color pink in a lot of, as a word, in a lot of cultures.
Light
so
as
what-
red.
So what they see is red.
Mhm.
They just see red. But we see
for-
two different colors.
I forgot what it was. So so I played the Halo Infinite beta a couple of days back, and instead of saying pink, they said lightish red because it was a red versus blue reference. If you've ever watched Red versus Blue,
Yeah.
so they say like it's not pink, it's a lightish red, and they actually call back to that scene on Red versus Blue.
See?
And I was like, that's really cool. But it makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know, that humanity's awesome. That's why
Humanity is awesome.
I feel like
People are cool.
I feel like I'm either born in the wrong time or I'm not the right species, because my whole life I look at people through the perspective of like an alien, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You know what I mean? Like,
You are an alien.
I, like, I don't know.
I mean, Superman forgot who he was. He had his memories knocked out.
That's true. I always wonder
Maybe
because
you're
there's like a whole point of my life where like I don't remember anything, and so maybe maybe I was from
There it
space or something.
There it is. So what you're telling me is you're from Krypton.
I might be. I don't know. Like, except the sun doesn't give me superpowers
That you know of.
that I know of. Yeah.
It
Like,
may
what
be
if-
very minimal. It may
what
be
if-
very minimal. Your superpowers may be like, you're like, man, I feel a little bit more energetic. You just didn't even know. Didn't even know. It's just that little bit of oomph.
It's just that oomph. I ate some spinach and now I'm super powerful.
Oh, all right, Popeye.
Wrong thing, right?
Man, my dad loves Popeye. Like that's his. I tell you right now, it must be his favorite character in the world.
That's
I don't know
really
why.
cool.
He just really loves him. I meant to send him a picture. So at work, there is a Popeye spinach. Like it's brand named and everything. And I meant to send a picture to him like such a long time ago because I knew he would just eat it up. It would have made his whole day.
Don't send a picture. Send
Just
it
bring
to
him a can.
Just bring him a
Just bring him
can.
a can.
Yeah.
Just bring him a can. You know what? You're right. I'll just bring him a can.
Just bring him a can, man. I
She
mean,
would
that,
love
what is
that.
it, like $5 or something? Because it's got Popeye
No,
slapped on it.
Not even. Who knows? Probably $3.99.
Half of our viewers probably don't even know who Popeye is. Like,
That's sad. That's really sad.
You know,
I mean, we were just born in that time period. Like, there's that in between,
Yep.
that in between where I can remember dial-up internet and
Yep.
people 2 years below me, 3 years below me, maybe
Home phones.
maybe home phones. I still remember my home phone number.
Cool.
Like, and my grandparents, it was 270-8995.
I'm gonna have to bleep all that out now in post.
Who has that home phone right now? There's no way.
Somebody needs to call that and let us know how it goes.
Please call me and tell me who lives there.
I still remember
Just-
mine too. My parents still actually have it, and I'm like, why?
That's insane. They still have a home phone.
And the reason why is because they live out in the middle of nowhere and there's no connection.
And it never changes. That's the thing. Your home phone number will be the same forever. It never goes away.
Yeah, it's the same. And then
So
like,
you're telling me right now you can look them up in a phone book?
no, they took themselves out of the phone book.
Uh,
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so like, it's funny. It's funny. Speaking of phone books, why? Why do they still have phone
That's
books?
another thing. Phone books. I said it like that was the most normal thing to say, and someone looked at me like a phone book. Like
What's
I'm
a
like,
phone
yeah, a phone book. There
Phone
used to be a
book
thing
in my
that came in the. There used to be a thing that came in the mail every month, and it would be a list of phone numbers in the area around you.
Yep.
And
I
people
still-
are like, wait. People are like, wait, my phone number is just given out to people. It's like, yeah.
And that was a cool thing. Like, I'm in
Yeah.
the phone book, guys. Commence the spam calling. We still
I
get.
remember that was how I found my friend's number. Like, oh, my mom's name is blah 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 blah, and you would go and look it up in the phone book and
Yeah.
find them. Man, unlocking memories left and right here.
We did that in class. Like, we had a class where we looked up phone numbers. Like, here's how you alphabetize and stuff like that. We still get phone books outside. Like, every once in a while, I'll drive into my parking lot, my driveway, and I'll park, and there'll be it'll be thin. You remember how thick they used to be? They used to be like,
Just be books.
Massive.
Like,
it was a task to rip them in half. You remember that? Like,
that used to actually be like a strongman competition. Like I can rip a phone book in half.
Yeah.
And now it's like if someone did that, you're like, okay, like
That's
I could
not
do
very
that.
Impressive. Here, hand me
Yeah,
your
very
phone.
impressive.
Let me rip it. That's
Yeah.
not very impressive either nowadays. You remember how when you used
Isn't
to be able
that
to
crazy?
chunk a phone
That-
across the football field?
Think
That
about
actually
this in
happened
a
to
way.
me once.
We are the most open and connected we've ever been, but also the most closed off we've ever been at the same time.
Bo Burnham has a song about that.
I'm sure he does, but it's kind of crazy. It's like people are the most connected they've ever been, but don't want people to know anything about them. Where
Yeah,
back then I could walk up to my neighbor's house and you could basically just walk in and have
yeah.
dinner with them or talk to them, and like just people were different towards each other. Now,
Hmm.
like people look at each other like, well, what do you want? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, and
Exactly.
I try not to be that way because, but you do. Like, people are always wary of each other, and it's like, why? Like,
It's because we have. Oh, oh, Kelbz.
oh,
Here we go. Here we go.
here
We're
we
about
go.
to dive. You ready to take a deep dive?
I'm ready.
There is a cultural um, meta narrative, right?
Hmm.
Especially in the United States right now, that everything is either take, give, or steal. So think about it. When you starting out, even as a child, your very first interaction with a big group of people is normally at like school, right?
Yeah.
Everybody goes to school, and what's the narrative of that? S- Sit down, raise your hands, talk when I tell you to. You get to go
Yeah.
to the bathroom when I tell you to, right? So automatically, it's teaching us as people to fit
Obey a
in
hierarchy.
some kind of hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
The teacher's the boss, you follow that boss, right?
Hmm.
Now, this is when psychologically people start to develop paths to get to where they want, right? I want to go to the bathroom, but I'm not really going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go play in the hallway. So what am I going to do? I'm going to become buddy buddy with the teacher. So every time that I go to the bathroom, they're like, "Oh, it's cool. He's cool." You know what I mean? So from the very beginning, sadly, there's a basis structure built there, and that's kind of a bad vibe to bring to the scene, but it creates a social barrier. It's just like, and I'm not going to get too far into race and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
it's taught. It's taught. It's all taught. You know, and now we have a world that's disconnected. That's always in their phone. That's always focusing on 17 different things when there's real
The
people in
attention
the room.
span is so short now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I don't know, man. Like, the world's a crazy place.
For better or for worse, like it's one of those things where like there's so much good in the world. There's so many good things happening, but there's also so many like society is weird because we're very advanced and but we're also like socially deteriorating.
Yeah,
Like
and
there's a few, but there's always outliers. I mean, there's always those people that can talk and just talk to anybody and have the manners that were passed down from their parents because someone somewhere held on to that little bit of old school that taught you how to be a decent human being.
yeah, yeah, and
Or there's always going to be. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that's a great thing, and that needs to be supported.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Continue with what you're saying.
I was saying that there's always going to be like rural areas where like people don't have internet connection and they just
Hmm.
get raised the way that their parents and their grandparents were raised. And so there's always going to be that little bit there. But for the most part, society is predicated on phones and predicated on the internet and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok now.
Yep.
And you get these little snippets of people's personalities, and that's all you get. And you paint a picture with that. And
Hmm.
people let you see what they want you to see. Like you get the best of them or the worst of them, depending on what they want to show you.
It's
Like
like,
on
no, continue. I'm
go,
sorry. Yeah, yeah.
no,
Sorry.
you're good. But I was saying like on Facebook, like I can make a post and you only see what I want you to see. So you could think I go and travel the world and I have this
Mhm.
great life and I have all this money when really like I'm taking out credit cards and credit cards just to go places, just to look like I have a status.
Yep.
But like you don't see that
Yeah. Yeah.
because social media does such a good job of being very open, but very open to what you want people to see.
It's filtered.
Yeah.
It's very filtered. I don't even do Facebook much anymore because of the filters. But I was gonna say, there's an anime that I watched at one point, and I cannot remember for the life of me where it was or what it was. But the main characters walked into a town, and the town, um, everybody could hear each other's thoughts, right? And this was like
Ooh.
years after that instance happened.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was around each other. Everybody was separated from each other because of that. It's almost like that's what the internet is doing
I see it.
from a personality perspective.
No, I see it though. Like, because you can just blast your thoughts out at all times.
And not have any repercussions for it. Like back in the day, right? If you said something that someone didn't agree with,
Talked about it.
they'd either talk about it or beat the crap out of you.
Or you kept it to yourself.
Or kept it to yourself. And now,
But now it's one of those things where it's like you can just throw it out there. I can be 15,000 miles away from you and be like, I don't like your bandana. It offends me. I don't like it. I hate that color. It looks bad on you or something, which I don't think. I think that's a great bandana.
well, thank you.
But
Extreme
but
colors.
it's one of those things where like someone can say that and then cut their computer off and not even think about it, and it may have just destroyed your world. You're like, my grandfather who passed away gave me this bandana and it meant the world to me, and you just shit all over it.
Yeah.
And but like but it's funny though.
There's no background from either side
No.
of it. And I think that's the really cool thing that I can see streaming doing and closing the gap. Like, yes, you have a chat, which is very just words and letters, right? That. But what you're doing, if you're a good streamer, you're building a community, and hopefully a positive one. And that community gets together on Discord or other social media networks, and then they start sharing their pictures and sharing their lives and stuff like that. And as a streamer, if you're a good streamer, you're going to share your life and be real to your community. And so, what are we seeing? We're seeing a swing there. People are transferring from, especially these younger age people who've seen the progress through their parents. We're seeing a swing now where you have YouTube and you have Instagram and you have TikTok and you have Twitch that all have some kind of immediate interaction with their community.
Yeah.
Now, once again, you can still flaunt around like you have all the money in the world and everything like that. But now, for people, like us, I hope so, we can be open and honest. That's what this whole talk's been about,
Yeah.
Like, it's just been us two chit-chatting. And, I mean, we haven't gotten much, I haven't gotten much reply on chat to kind of, chat, if you want to talk. Tell us, give us
Yeah.
your ideas. Like, let's just do it. Let's just stream. Let's talk. Like,
But it's one of those things too. It's chats. That's why I love having Twitch too, is because like you can get your chat involved in your conversations, or like you said, like we said, it had to be a couple of days ago. Like sometimes chat just wants to listen to you talk, and that's fine.
Yeah,
like,
that's completely fine. Like, absolutely.
it can be whatever it wants. I mean, it's like chat kind of makes the stream just as much as the streamer does.
Yeah. So I mean,
it can be whatever.
We're closing that gap, and for us to progress this is progressing that positivity, because as you said earlier, we have so much connectivity in the world right now. How much would life be different if we connected in a positive means than in a negative mean?
I think it'd be one of those. It'd be unrecognizable, because as sad as it is, the world kind of lives off a little negativity. Like
it's the meta narrative. It's the meta narrative.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter is like a cesspool of negativity. Reddit is even worse. Like, and yeah. I'm not trying to just call those communities, because there are good in those communities. Reddit does have a lot of good stuff. Twitter has a lot of good stuff, but there is a lot of negativity on those platforms, and it's kind of hard to miss it. Like, because it seems to be like inherent. Anytime something trends, it's almost always like trending for the wrong reasons.
Boom, and that's the filter for you. Like, the filter only populates what is interacted with, only what is, and people are so quick to act with hate, to act with anger, and that's what trends, unfortunately, quicker than something that's positive or good. And as a platform, right, I believe their job is to kind of filter that through. I mean, I'm not saying what they can or can't do, but if you want to progress positivity in the world, you got to start with the filters.
Do you think that it's one of those things where the reason that it comes off so negative is because people get isolated and they seek out people that are like-minded, and that just becomes these echo chambers, and then echo chambers meet other echo chambers and they just disagree, and that's kind of how it happens.
You're exactly
Saying,
right. It just
I
builds.
feel like that. Yeah.
I had a very low time in my life and was on TikTok, right? And when when you're in a certain mood, you trend to look at stuff that's following that mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or bettering that mood or changing that mood. And so there was a time there where it was just like, and it was right around the turn when Bo Burnham's Inside first came out, and that's a kind of a depressing show, you know.
It is. If you really listen to his words, it's not great.
If you interact with that show instead of just consume it, you can learn a lot about what needs to change with the world. But then my TikTok was just all like Bo Burnham like stuff, and it was just like, I want to see something new. Show me something new. And like, if we get out of these filters and we get back to just refreshing and taking a break, like it does amazing. As a from personal perspective and lived it does a whole bunch for the mood. Like it changes, it recharges, you know.
That's why something that actually recharges me. I do like to take time away and kind of be to myself sometimes, but like actually going and hanging out with people in person, almost always socially recharges me and kind of gets me back on okay, like this is how you act with people. This is what you do in a public place. This is what you like I think sometimes we forget, like when you don't hang out for a long time with people, like you kind of miss those social cues.
True.
And it's really helpful just to go out and hang out with people or see people or be around people. Even if you're just going to a mall or hanging out with someone for dinner or something, like there are social cues that matter, and you lose that when all you do is play on the internet. Because it's very easy for me to talk to you, and that's one thing.
So,
but when you're hanging out with someone, like that's completely different.
So, like this is the perspective of two extroverted people, but what do you think about those people who are more introverted?
I mean, my roommate, she's very introverted. And that's one of the things, like I always joke with her, I'm like, I don't know how that you put up with me. I was like, is because I'm very like, hey, what's up, how was your day, blah blah blah, and she's just like, ugh. I can tell she's like, ugh.
I've already done this.
But it's one of those things where it's funny though, because introverted people, I think there's both sides. Like for me, it's hard for me to see someone be like, well, I don't want to see anyone ever. Like
I'm the same way.
I mean, it's hard for me to see that, but I understand it, and I get that some people, their recharging is not the same as mine. My recharging is going out and seeing people and hanging out and talking, where their recharge is like, I want to read a book, or I want to just watch a TV show, and I just want to chill in the darkness because that's what charges my meter. And then they go hang out with people, or they go to work, and sometimes work is just draining by itself. They like, she works in the bakery, so she's dealing with customers and dealing with people, and I can see that being draining, especially if you're an introverted person. It's like, I don't want to, especially like if you're introverted, like you're like, I don't want to deal with anyone as it is, and now I have to, and I have to be friendly, and I have to be like, you have to put on kind of like a face
on top of it, right? The real cool thing that I've been seeing here lately, though, is that especially on VR, these people who are socially disadvantaged, I don't know if that's the way to say it, I don't mean it in a bad way, guys, if you're watching this, because I love you all. You're all awesome any way that you are. And I see the beauty of like VR chat and just straight text conversation really opening these people up. Like,
well, because they're kind of behind a wall. Like they're covered, they're shielded.
yeah, which is a great thing in this context. Like just as we were talking about it earlier, that shield can be a negative thing, but it can also be a positive for these people who are unable to really express themselves and really interact. I just think, see, there's some light in the darkness, and power to you guys. Like if you have trouble conversating with people, like power to you for getting out there and socializing. Like if you enjoy it that way, then by all means do it. Like
if anything, like that takes a lot more strength for someone who's introverted to go out and hang out with than someone who's extrovert. For me, like it's no issue. It means nothing to me, but it actually took an effort and a concentrated effort for someone who's introverted to go hang out with people. And I feel like that means more. Like if I had an introverted friend and I'm like, hey, come hang out with me, and they actually did it, that would mean more to me because I knew what it took for them to get out of their bed or get out of their house and be like actually making the effort.
The value is there.
Yeah, so like you said, there's a light because like think of how much effort your friend just made for you specifically.
Yeah,
like that's a big deal.
That's something else I've learned too. Like in life, it's very hard to find people who truly want to hang out with you.
Yeah,
just like we were mentioning earlier, what do you want from me? Like a lot of people have that mindset, but like I'm trying to get into this mindset of cherishing those people who want to spend their time, their very fleeting time with me. And like I'm not always the best person to hang out with at all the times, but I want to tell everybody, and I want to say it now, put it on the internet. Thank you all for wanting to hang out with us, hang out with me, and like especially like family and stuff like that. Like I appreciate you, Kelbz. Like this is
man.
Like this is awesome. I appreciate you.
And this is the first time we've really talked in a while. Like we've been like messaging back and forth, and we've talked a little bit, but like this is the first time I've actually like seen your face and talk to you, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just been cool. Like there's something to be said for just communal things like this, where like you're getting together and just talking, shooting the breeze. Like it's just a good time.
It is a very good time. Like we were talking about earlier, especially when we first started into streaming all that, about meeting in person. But the world today, that makes it kind of tough. And the beauty of the internet, right? The good side of the internet, it brings us together, and it can connect us, like we're doing now. And just totally randomly started streaming it to the rest of the world. Like I want to let you know, like we'd still be having this conversation even if the world wasn't looking at
you
us.
guys are just getting a little like delve into each of our minds and our I guess our social political mindsets.
And we had this conversation going an hour before we even
you guys just welcome. We've been here for a minute.
We've gone through everything, man. I like it. I think it's been awesome, but I think this is probably where we need to call it. It's almost 11 o'clock our time. Kelbz, it's been awesome, dude. I've really enjoyed this. Tomorrow, guys, if you're watching this, Kelbz and I are going to be pirates. We're going to be playing some Sea of Thieves together. I'm a complete noob, so I'm going to go and join the Kelbz group, and we're going to
on the high seas,
fighting some krakens and getting some mermaids to carry us back to the ship because I accidentally jumped off or something like that.
Watch out about those mermaids. They're not all good.
No
They're
way.
Not all good.
Hey,
they're not all good.
First tip of the stream right there.
Not all mermaids are good. You'll see. You'll see what I mean.
Cool, man. Hey, it has been a blast. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Guys, check us out. It's going to be at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
10 a.m. Central. Be there.
Central. Dude, I look forward to it. I think it's time for some rest and some prep.
Yeah, man.
We do need to get
Do this,
together
man.
sometime though.
Yeah, we
I'd
do
love
for
to do
sure.
I would love to do this again. Maybe pull some more
Dude,
people in or
you
something
know,
like that.
I was
but-
actually thinking about this. I was like, this went really well. You had the gears turning. I'm always thinking. So I was like, man, this wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Maybe go some. I do happen to have a podcast.
Ho ho! So it would transfer beautifully into that medium.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Good ideas.
Cool, man. Well, I'm gonna switch on over to the goodbye screen and mute all of your thing. So it's been a friggin' blast. It's been way too long, and
Yeah,
I've
man.
really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Much
Thank
needed.
you for having me on. I appreciate being on your stream.
Thanks for hosting.
Yeah, man.
So, dude, have a fantastic night.
Yeah, man. You too.
See you in the
Take care,
morning.
chat. See
Peace
ya.
out, y'all.